Today on the DOYO Live Marketing Show, we talk about marketing for nonprofits. We have a very exciting fundraiser because I have a very special guest of mine today from Junior Achievement in the Mahoning Valley, Miss Marcy Angelo. Marcy, thanks for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
My name is Dennis Schiraldi. I am the founder of DOYO Live, which is Digital Marketing and Interactive Design Conference. It is taking place on August 2nd and 3rd, 2017. So we got a few months to go. But in the meanwhile, we've been doing DOYO Live Marketing shows for a couple of months. And put a little bit of context around this. Marcy and I's relationship really kind of started to manifest itself online through social media.
Yeah.
Me following Junior Achievement and all the great things that they do, which she's going to tell us about in a few moments. And as a result of that, then kind of personally following each other on Facebook and Instagram and on Twitter and endorsing one another. And then back a few months ago, there was an opportunity to speak at one of the local middle schools, a program that Marcy set up to bring business leaders in to work with young kids. And so I took advantage of that. But in any case, Marcy, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
YSU alum.
Yes.
Very exciting stuff. So tell us a little bit about your background, build some context as to what you do at Junior Achievement.
So as you said, I'm a YSU alum, and I graduated in 2015 with my Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration.
Right on.
I have a certificate in nonprofit leadership, and my minor was nonprofit leadership and geology. So I actually, when I started college, I was a geology major, and I loved science. But that got me an internship at Junior Achievement, because our main pillars are entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and workforce readiness.
Right.
But when I started there in September of 2014, there was talk of doing a careers in energy program.
Okay.
So my geology background brought me in to do that, and I never left. So I was offered a job, and I graduated college, and here I am pushing the mission.
Right on. That is fantastic, and that's why she's here with me, because she likes studying rocks.
Yes, that's right.
I've been known to have a little bit of a hard head in my life. So, talk to us a little bit more about what Junior Achievement does. Obviously, we get the pillars of what it stands for, but what are some of the things that Junior Achievement specifically does in grabbing kids in the entrepreneurial programs, going out in the schools, things of that nature? What are some of the programs that they do?
So to start, it's not just older kids, which is a lot of people have this mindset that Junior Achievement is just for high school kids.
Okay.
And years ago, it was an after-school entrepreneurship program.
All right.
You'll hear people talk about cookie sheets and all these different types of products that these students made. And they had a business plan and mentors, and they actually had their own company. Over the years, it has evolved. And while we still do some after-school programs, it's mainly during the school day, K through 12 programs.
Right on.
Mahoning Valley specifically, we service Ashtabula, Columbiana, Trumbull, and Mahoning counties.
Well, it's a big area.
Yes, with majority of our programs, I would say in Mahoning County, but we are growing in the other 3 counties.
Okay.
We are set to reach 13,000 students in those 4 counties this school year.
Really?
Yes. So we are a very small staff, and we are very busy, and we do a lot of things.
That is amazing. And my own kids, which I'll leave out of the school that they attend for their own safety, but they love Junior Achievement. They're young, first, second grade.
Okay.
So you're starting young with young kids and bringing mentor. Do you call them mentors, or do you call them they're Junior Achievement leaders? They go into the classroom and they teach a course over a semester?
So we call them volunteer mentors, and anybody in the community like you, anyone at a bank, really anybody. We even use college students. Great volunteer opportunity if you're in college, whether you're going to be an educator or in the business world. But we have a program manager, and she trains everybody before they go in the classroom, and the programs are anywhere from 5 to 15 weeks long. And these volunteer mentors go in the classroom, and they connect with the kids, and they teach lessons.
That's amazing. I love that concept, because one of the things that I teach and talk about my own kids with on a regular basis, and they're young, but I say, if I could teach you guys to hustle, you guys will do fine the rest of your life. Like, if I can instill one thing, because that will take care of work ethic, will take care of just about everything else. So we'll be riding on bikes, and I'll say to my kids in my neighborhood, or my kids when we're in the neighborhood, I say, "You see that lawn?" They're like, "Yeah, Dad, it's grass." I go, "No, that's money." And one of these days you're going to be out cutting that grass, because that's where I got my start of mowing lawns in the neighborhood. And I think that you can't start too early
Right.
with kids to
Right.
start to instill that, right?
So people have this mindset that because they're in first grade, well, they don't know what entrepreneurship is and they don't know what workforce readiness is. But the problem you hear from so many employers are that these kids coming out of college aren't ready for a job.
Right.
And it's because they hit a certain age and you can't teach them these things anymore. So it's so important to start instilling that, even like you said, first and second grade.
Get that lemonade stand out on the corner this summer.
That's the best entrepreneurship example out there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, it's really hard for people to drive by kids in the neighborhood.
Oh, I can't.
Right?
I have to stop.
Right.
Even if I don't want it, I have to stop.
And they need to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I become a volunteer mentor to go and teach and get the placement into the schools?
We have a sign-up link on our website,
Yep.
and our program manager, Nicole Fawn, she handles majority of volunteer opportunities. I did specifically handle Entrepreneurship Week, which is what you did.
Right.
But pretty much call, email, text, sign up online, and we'll get you a fit.
Sounds good. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that in the DOYO Live Marketing Show notes, we'll put Marcy's contact information and links out to the website so that you can go and investigate the program and make yourself available to help mentor kids. We're with Marcy Angelo. Your official title at Junior Achievement is?
The Program and Special Events Coordinator.
And she's with us on the DOYO Live Marketing Show. This show today is being brought to you by Valley Digital Services, who is currently running a Facebook contest on their Facebook site to give away 2 free tickets to DOYO Live Digital Marketing Interactive Design Conference. And I'm Dennis Charlie, the founder of DOYO Live, and we are actually coming to you live from Kravitz Deli today as well, the legendary Kravitz Deli. So it's awesome opportunity for us to meet. Once we're done, this is going to make a lot of people jealous, but this is what we're going to be doing right here, corned beef sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Entrepreneur Week. That was a really exciting thing. I saw that there was a massive coordination effort behind that, which I think is partly project management. And the other half of it is one of my favorite worlds is marketing, is that the fact that you engaged a great deal of individuals into signing up to go out into the schools and talk to individuals.
Yes, so it was Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is always in November.
Okay.
And typically there are various places in the Valley that we partner with. Youngstown Business Incubator, they always do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Youngstown State University. So we have a few programs that we do. It's just a one-time thing like you did. So what we do is in the beginning of the school year, we put out the dates and what this stuff is to the educators, and they sign up. So last year, we decided to partake in Entrepreneurship Week.
Okay.
And basically, it's just a 1-hour lesson, and you get the chance as an entrepreneur to go in and talk about your company, your road, and it's so important for these kids, honestly, to hear failure stories. And
Exactly.
they need to hear it. And entrepreneurship is so big in Youngstown, and it's growing and growing, and our request doubled from last year.
Right on.
So we had almost 40 classes in the Mahoning Valley where I was able to fill all but 3 classes with entrepreneurs like yourself. And it was very cool because these students really love to hear, they can connect with you and hear your story. And it's so important because they're learning so much.
It is so important. Yesterday, I gave a talk at the Mahoning County Career and Technical Center to a group of cosmetology students and also creative arts and design. And one of the things that I told them, and we were talking a lot about social media and the use cases scenario, but then we got into the topic of a little bit about everybody's favorite topic, me. And very quickly, though, I told them, I said, the least likely person to maybe do what I've done and where I've been is probably me. I grew up in Louisville, Ohio. Not exactly the metropolitan mecca of the universe. And, through my career and advancing it, I found myself living and working and thriving in New York City.
Okay.
And so you could be from anywhere, the south side of Youngstown to Hubbard, Ohio to Louisville, and whatever it is that you aspire to do, I think it's very important that these kids see that they're walking in the shoes that you were. And if New York or Chicago or just, Youngstown, Ohio is where they want it to be, it can happen.
Yep. So it was, it's an effort that we're really looking to grow. So I'm hoping, maybe next year we can have over 50 classes filled with local entrepreneurs sharing their story.
Great program. And let's talk a little bit then. How did you engage obviously you got a lot of people to sign up this year, but how did you engage those individuals like myself to sign up for this program?
I found we started using a link this school year that has really helped make our organization more efficient. It's called Sign Up Genius.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it other than using it for Entrepreneurship Week, but it's just a website where we put on our programs and anybody can sign up.
Okay.
So the volunteer opportunities that I'll have after we're done here will be through Sign Up Genius. So again, it's as simple as putting that link out on social media,
Okay.
trying to share it with entrepreneurs. What I did was personal connections like yourself.
The one-on-ones.
Yes.
Yep.
And I find it's a lot easier if I say, hey, I know you did this and you took this road. Would you like to share your story?
Right on.
And I think in those specific situations, it's easier to reach people and recruit people.
And you have something going on at Junior Achievement, which is, I think, pretty common with a lot of local entities versus kind of national brands, is that there's a national brand in place with Junior Achievement
Right.
in all 50 states.
Yes. So there's 109 offices across the United States, and we are actually on a global level.
Right.
So we are outside the United States as well.
And they drive some of your messaging on your social properties.
Yes. So I do handle the social media accounts for our local offices, but we also, someone at JAUSA, that's their job, is social media content. They're emailing me every day ideas for Instagram posts.
Right.
And they actually post on our Facebook and Twitter regularly. So some of the things you'll see will be from me and some will be from our national office.
And then you're able to leverage that platform to get the message out with
Yes.
programs like this.
Yes. And the lesson that you use as guidance for Entrepreneurship Week actually comes from our national office.
Right on. That's awesome stuff. So we're going to jump over to a couple other topics here in some things that I want to discuss with Marcy. She's going to talk about a great fundraiser that they have coming up at the end of next month.
Yes.
At the end of next month. So I left off my bowling shirt, but I'm going to tease that just for a moment. I was looking for one. I couldn't find one. Let's talk a little bit about some recent activity that you had during the election season. Obviously, it's a very polarizing political landscape, not just through the election, but if you woke up this morning, likely there's something in the headlines that is exciting people, and social media is at this point become the lightning rod, for good, better, or worse, for everybody to peer into, the world that we're living in today and express. And I did a Facebook Live about a week or so ago that basically gave away 3 tips to try to avoid emotionally charged social media posts.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put your phone in a block of ice like a credit card.
Right.
And thought.
Right. Yeah.
But you wish that people could sometimes.
Right.
But in any case, Marcy was featured, maybe you saw it, on a CNN interview that took place during the election season. And obviously with your political interests, the outcome of that drove obviously a lot of popularity and eyeballs to you, because the basis was about females voting for Donald Trump as
Yes.
president.
Mm-hmm.
And not so much the why you did and your support. That's to me that's not really important for this conversation. But how did CNN first of all decide to pick you to interview you?
Well, for those that don't know, Trumbull County voted red for the first time since in 1970 sometime.
Correct.
So it was kind of a big deal, and CNN as well as other news stations realized they missed a really big story happening during the election season.
Okay.
So I am a part of Mahoning Valley Young Professionals, and for those that don't know, that's an organization in this area, and it's for the younger generation, early out of college. I think it's.
I have priced out of the demographic.
Oh.
So last year I talked with the Mahoning Valley Young Professionals.
Okay.
They invited me to come and speak and talk to them about, a little bit about social media, LinkedIn, building networks,
Okay.
and then we were talking a little bit about the marketing conference as well.
Okay.
And I made the joke to them that I think it's now sub 40.
I think it used to be sub 40. Now I think it's
like
35.
35.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
But I punch way below my 43-year-old age because I've got young kids.
okay.
Yeah.
So anyways,
That's my story.
yeah. Because of my involvement in that, they actually used social media. CNN contacted someone at Mahoning Valley Young
Okay.
Professionals and said, were looking for a young female professional
Okay.
that voted Republican. So I didn't actually even see the post online before a friend texted me and said, I know how you support it, because at this time I had never gone public with political posts.
Okay.
Because as you talked about with the emotion on social media, I tried to avoid it. But I felt it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. So the producer called me and we spoke on the phone for a couple hours, and then I met them. And we talked again for a couple hours, and it was interesting to see that they only used about 20 seconds of the interview.
Well, hold on that thought for just 1 second.
All right.
So here's the interesting thing that I find fascinating about it, because of the world that I live in, is that the opportunity to be able to connect, and the fact of the matter is that they at CNN, a international news organization, did their research to go out and find people, and the mechanism as to which they utilized obviously was a ton of online research.
Exactly.
And from a PR perspective, I can tell you firsthand that I have had clients of mine get into the New York Times.
Okay.
And then when another polarizing political conversation that we could have is when same-sex marriage was, there were people becoming ordained in same-sex marriage.
Okay.
I had a client of mine that basically we did some local PR, and then that local PR story was picked up, and the Guardian in England calls, in the UK, calls my customer to say, let's do a story on this topic.
Wow.
So from a PR perspective, and with the advent of social media and online mechanisms, you really never know where that story is going to start and where it's going to end, and the opportunities that it potentially is going to present.
Right. And what was cool was we waited like weeks for this to air. The producer would text and say, oh, it's going to air tonight, and then 5 minutes before he would say, oh, sorry, it's not airing, because there was this breaking news because it was so close to the election ending.
Right.
But the cool part was, I don't have cable, so I went to my parents' house to watch it. And I utilized Facebook Live so people that weren't able to watch it could see me on there. So I just, on my phone, I just recorded the TV. And I used Facebook Live, and then CNN did post the video at a later date, and I'm still seeing it circulate. So it's interesting to see, that was 2 months ago.
Do they track views on CNN? Do you know if they have I don't know if they have a view counter or not.
On their Facebook video? Yes, I think they do.
Really?
And I'm curious. I'm going to have to go back and see how many views are on it.
I would be curious to see that, because that's one aspect of getting found, giving some sort of interview. Obviously, from a traditional press perspective, your conversation with them lasted over an hour and a half.
Yes.
Decision that was made to show, basically, I think the story was maybe 3 to 5 minutes in length.
Yes.
And your portion of the interview at the restaurant that you were at, I thought was the longer the segment, but it was pretty short. Yeah,
it was only about 20 or 30 seconds, and it was kind of semi-disappointing because I thought we had really good conversation, and it was one of the few conversations I've had recently that didn't blow up in my face. Because, emotions run high, and obviously Van Jones and myself obviously don't see eye to eye on many things because he's Democrat and I'm not, but it was cool to have all the cameras there, and I wish I could have got the whole piece.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing about the mechanism that we're using today. Obviously it's an awesome opportunity with traditional media because of the amount of reach and influence that they have. But in the same note, this positions us in a way to now have, the barrier to entry to having your own TV show is basically a Facebook account.
Yep.
The barrier to entry to having your own radio show is basically having a little bit of know how to create a podcast.
Yep.
You can be your own journalist and write a blog. It's not easy to build up critical mass and a following to this because you have to put together interesting, compelling content and do it on a consistent basis.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is you and I are sitting here today telling our story without the help of CNN.
Right, exactly. We're just, it's such a cool tool to be able to use, and I see it growing more and more.
Yeah. Have you done anything with Junior Achievement to tell the story through Facebook Live at this point?
Not yet, but we have had conversations.
And it's difficult because you're dealing with youth.
Right.
And
so what we run into, which other nonprofits would run into, is the whole photo release form thing.
Yeah.
So even as a staff member, I'll go see a program happening and I want to snap pictures, but I have to check with every teacher to make sure there's no students,
Right.
you know, that don't have that form. And if they do, I can only get the backs of their heads, or we ask them to step aside for the picture. So
Yeah.
we want to interview someone after a program, a student, and get their, you know, testimonial type, but that's something that involves the parents and the educators. So it's not as simple as just doing this. We would have to get some permission, but it's something we are working towards.
Gotcha.
I think people, donors, volunteers, they want to hear what impact are you making, and they want to hear what does the student have to say, what did they learn.
Right.
Right.
So we're with Marcy Angelo, the local marketing events coordinator, program coordinator
Yes.
for Junior Achievement in Mahoning Valley that services about a 5-6 county area in addition to Youngstown, Ohio. And I'm Dennis Charlie, founder of DOYO Live, the Digital Marketing Interactive Design Conference, and we're talking about all sorts of fun stuff today, nonprofit marketing with Junior Achievement. We've got to tell you about a fun upcoming fundraiser, but right now we're in the midst of a good conversation about Marcy's recent fame on CNN with an interview during the election.
Mm-hmm.
So now we do the interview. You get found through CNN and online and social media, and then you do the interview. And frankly, I did not see anything. And I stay out of political views online. Like, you know, Toby Keith's an interesting guy.
Yes.
He's got like 62 million fans now.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
Yeah.
65 million may not like him,
Right.
but 62 do love him now.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, the point though being is that now you've done this interview. I thought it was very positive. I did not find anything like, I thought you represented yourself well, the area well. So I commend you for that. That would not have been an easy thing to do. And I likely, as much as I like being on TV, probably would have declined it. Because I wouldn't have had the guts.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a brave individual. You do the interview. Now what? You're on social media.
Mm-hmm.
There's CNN's feed. There's your feed. And what has been some of the response that you've been given from giving this interview?
Well, I do have a public Facebook, so
Okay.
It's a little bit easier to find me than other people, I would say. I was most shocked at how many message requests I had after it aired. Both local people that I had mutual friends with and non-local people.
Okay.
Luckily, all of the messages were positive, nothing like shaming me. But it was interesting to see the amount of people that didn't know me and knew that they didn't hear the whole story and what they were commenting. And
Okay.
but it was interesting to see how many people took the time to find me on social media after that interview.
Interesting. And so did any other opportunities present itself from a media perspective as a result of doing that interview?
No. The other girl that I interviewed with, who is a student at YSU, and she is a poli-sci minor, I believe.
Yep.
There was talk of doing a interview with the Tribune to possibly do a written piece.
Okay.
But nothing ever became of that.
All right. So any, besides anything personal, anything on the CNN feed on Facebook or on their actual news site that you read that, you need to have some thick skin, possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can't take it to heart. I mean, these people are strangers.
I would have been laying at night.
Yeah.
I'd be going, they hate me. They hate me.
And I'm like, wow, like, it's funny to see how many people will just come out there and say that about a complete stranger, knowing full well I'm probably going to see the comments. And I eventually just stopped reading them because you can't take it to heart. Like, some people they sit on social media and they comment, and that's what they do.
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Gaffigan's a comedian that I absolutely love, and I've seen him live a few times, and he says, and this was true during President Obama's 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Basically people walk outside and they're like, it's snowing today, it's cold, and they'd be like, President Obama.
Literally, yeah.
We blame
Right.
Mm-hmm. And social media lets you peer into that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you could be talking, I've seen this on a number of forums. We could talk about this pen, and they'll go, Donald Trump, President Trump.
Right. And that's what it came down to.
Yeah.
And it's comical. I just kind of laughed about it, but I would have suggested if someone couldn't take criticism to not do an interview like that because you will get backlash.
Yeah. All right, so we are with Marcy Angelo from Junior Achievement, and what I'd like to do next is switch gears because they have a really awesome fundraiser coming up at the end of next month, and you'll see DOYO Live on our Facebook and other social media properties endorsing this, not because we have to, because we want to. We are all about providing ongoing professional development for marketing, business, sales, and design professionals. In addition to that, we're here to help stimulate the economy of Youngstown, Ohio with our marketing event. We're creating a few jobs. Last year we took 200 people to lunch at V2 in downtown Youngstown. And we're also about giving back with eventually, hopefully, a lot of money. But right now it's our time.
Yeah, which is just as good.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want to help out wherever we can and get people like Marcy and nonprofits like Junior Achievement some exposure. So tell us about the bowling event.
So for those that don't know, we offer our programs free of charge to every school.
Okay.
Okay, so schools don't have to pay anything to have our programs. So obviously we need to raise money to pay for these. So our largest fundraiser is our bowl-a-thon, and it's been our special event for over 20 years.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's been very popular. Many of the Junior Achievement offices do it.
Where's it at?
So on February 25th, it is at Wedgwood Lanes.
Oh, it's this month.
Yes.
Today's February 1st.
Yeah, it's February. Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. But it's actually a 2-day event.
Okay.
So there will be one in February and one in May. So February 25th, Wedgwood Lanes. That's a Saturday, and it is from 2 to 5.
Sweet.
Yes.
And we can find that on your website?
Yes. So again, he'll kind of put out my information, but you can search Junior Achievement in Mahoning Valley and go to our special events tab and learn all about the bowl-a-thon. I'm set to raise $30,000 from the 2 events this year, and that will pay.
Sweet.
To put it in perspective, it's about $25 per student. So that reaches a lot of students. I can't do the math, but I know it does.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bowling shirts not required or required?
Not required, and neither is talent. If you're not good, you can still come.
I'm the world's worst bowler.
I'm not good either.
My 5-year-olds beat me.
Oh.
But, the tie between Groundhog Day and bowling is not the Big Lebowski, but it's Kingpin and Bill Murray. Big Earn. One of the most classic bowling movie characters of all time. He's got the comb over. He's got the ball. Anyway, sorry to digress.
That's okay.
I cannot wait. I'm going to try and make sure that we fill the team.
Okay.
Obviously, get out and support that event, and that should be a good time, but we'll make sure that we post that in the show notes.
Yes.
So now, to wrap things up, we do rapid-fire questions.
Okay.
And this is a lot of fun. So try not to let you see too much of these. Morning or night owl?
Morning.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
First thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Go to the bathroom.
What's on your desk?
Everything. Seriously, it's bad.
How about on your smartphone? What's on the home screen of your smartphone?
A sunset with American flag.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like it. What social media site can you not live without?
Facebook. Sorry.
No, that's
Oh,
all right.
okay.
No, it's okay.
I was like, did I answer that wrong?
No wrong answers here.
Okay.
Favorite way to waste time at work, if there is such a thing?
Social media.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But that's not really wasting time because I do it for work.
I would agree that is somewhat of a it's a good way to waste time because you're engaging people.
Exactly.
Favorite personal possession?
Oh man. Probably the blanket I came home from the hospital in when I was born. I still have it. I know.
Tugging at the heartstrings. Would you rather be, and I know that you're a country fan,
Oh yeah.
Carrie Underwood or Dolly Parton?
Carrie Underwood for sure. That's like life goals to be her. I think that's even.
I didn't know that you had this affinity for Carrie Underwood, but I figured it was like with a difficult decision.
Have you ever looked at her over Dolly Parton? No offense.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. That's awesome. Any book that you'd recommend that everyone reads?
You Are a Badass.
By who?
I don't know who it's by, but it's a motivational book, and my
Okay.
girlfriend bought it for me, and I suggest people should read that.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
Ice cream. I eat it at least like 4 days a week, probably.
You got a favorite? A go-to?
Cookies and cream.
And by?
Locally, Handles is my favorite. If I'm at the store, I usually get Briars.
Interesting. What are you listening to right now, music-wise, besides Carrie Underwood?
Brantley Gilbert's new album.
I was with a group of people on Saturday night that I'm not the biggest country fan in the world,
Okay.
and they have all this list of country music concerts that they want to go to this summer.
Oh, wow. I hear country concerts are the best. I've never been to a concert in my life.
We don't get out much anymore.
Yeah.
We've got kids 7, 5, and 3.
Yeah.
And I like my family, and I want to hang with them.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be at the country concert.
No, I don't think that's good.
So now we'll be the only ones that don't go.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I'm on the fence. All right. If there's something unique, if there's something you can explain that's unique about you, what would it be?
I'm a twin.
Are you the older twin or the younger twin?
Yes, I'm the older twin by 2 minutes.
So even by 2 minutes, you're the bossy one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt about that.
Wine, beer, or liquor?
I actually don't drink. I haven't had alcohol in over 3 years.
Good for you.
So, none of the above.
I didn't do enough homework on that one.
That's
but,
okay.
Who's your biggest influence on you?
Probably my grandpa.
Nice. What's the best professional advice you've ever been given?
Probably, again, the social media thing. Watch what you put on there.
Really?
Yeah, because we just hired a part-time person, and that's the first thing we looked at when people applied was their social media.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you come down to my class at Youngstown State University sometime this semester.
Yeah, absolutely.
I teach social media marketing and communications.
Okay. Yeah.
And we could have that conversation.
Absolutely.
They think I'm full of it.
No.
Okay, good.
No, we do it.
Big game this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Falcons or Patriots?
Patriots, as much as I don't want to say that. I know.
You obviously haven't been watching.
I know, but.
This show.
Oh.
Because you know my disdain for those cheaters.
I know, but my husband's a fan, so I kind of have to ride that bandwagon.
Okay, I get it. That's how I said
Yeah.
mine.
You get that, right?
Yeah, I am a Steelers fan.
Ew. I'm a Browns fan. It's embarrassing. But, hey, you got to support who you support.
You do. No, you gotta ride or die with
That's
like
right.
that crew.
Yes.
And I get it. And I root for the Browns outside of the 2 times a year that they play the Steelers.
Okay.
And I root against the Ravens all the time because
Okay.
that's the Browns.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Brady or Ryan?
Brady.
Super Bowl. Are you in it for the commercials, the game, or the halftime?
Probably game and commercials, but I never watched the halftime show.
Say that again?
The game or the commercials, I never watch halftime show.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Marcy Angelo, for being on the DOYO Live Marketing Show today. Really appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to check out the notes. Get to that bowl-a-thon. That's going to be amazing. Sign up to give back in the community and get these kids some good mentorship on entrepreneurialism and in business as well. Very important stuff. Last but not least, go to Valley Digital Services Facebook page, like, share, a comment for an opportunity to win 2 tickets to DOYO Live Digital Marketing Interactive Design Conference on August 2nd and 3rd of 2017. We will be announcing our first round of breakout session leaders here in just about the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for dropping by today.